Libra, 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 Libra. Libra is everywhere since Facebook decided to introduce their very new project called Libra. I'm sure that if you have just not lived under a crypto rock, you probably have already heard about this new cryptocurrency that is going to come to be. And I decided to create a series where I will be reviewing Libra more or less on the technical standpoint, and I will try to explain how this works and how you can develop stuff over it. And this is going to be a series of videos that I'm going to be producing for you guys, so keep an eye for these videos. And this is first of these videos, first of this series, where I will be doing a general overview. I plan on going through the white paper, through the main things in the technical white paper, and to give you my opinion of, hey, what is there, should we be noticing this project, and what is all of this about. So without any further ado, let's get into reviewing this project. So first things first, let's look over through the white paper. Well, white paper has a very generic intro part. So if you're looking to go through the introduction part, pretty much you can skim through it. You can see all the things that you have seen in many cryptocurrencies. White papers pretty much says, hey, this is going to become the worldwide cryptocurrency. And truth be told, this is a message that has been heard a lot of times. However, there has never been such a big company. Actually, you'll see a little bit later there is this association, a coalition of super huge companies, and this one might just succeed at doing that. However, in this intro section, you're going to see pretty much different stats about how many people are unbanked and how they can just become banked. And how are they going to become banked? Well, through a cryptocurrency called Libra. So Libra pretty much is at the heart of the Libra network. So Libra network is going to be a blockchain network. And I'm going to go into a little bit more details over the blockchain network. And these details you can find in the white paper in this second section. So the Libra network and the Libra project pretty much has three main points. So it has, first of all, scalable, reliable blockchain network. It has Libra cryptocurrency that is going to be backed by a reserve. So in essence, you can think of this like a stable coin. And third of all, the Libra network is going to be governed by an independent Libra association. We are going to see who is in this association a little bit later. So about the different things. In terms of the Libra network, so the Libra network has a couple of interesting features. First of all, it has its own language called Move. And this language allows you to build transactions and encode smart contracts. The Libra network is supposed to be, or is dubbed to be able to scale to billion of accounts and transactions, and has a high capacity storage. It has to be highly secure, and it has to ensure the safety of the people that are being governed by this network. And also it has to be very flexible. In terms of philosophy, I think, based on my review, that Libra blockchain network is somewhat similar to the EOS network. First of all, it has a concept of account. An account can hold different smart contracts or codes or modules, as they call them, and they can hold different assets or resources, as they call them. The network is based on Byzantine fault tolerance consensus approach and is working with validator nodes. So in this essence, the network, the Libra network, is not permissionless. It's actually a permissioned public network. The validator nodes are actually part of different companies that are part of that these companies have created the Libra Association. And let me find for you which are these companies. Members of the Libra associations are, as said here, they consist of geographically distributed and diverse businesses, non-profit and multilateral organizations. So here are some of the companies. So there are payment companies, which are MasterCard, PayPal, PayU, Stripe, and Visa. Technology and marketplaces, where you can find Booking Holdings, probably Booking.com, eBay, Facebook, and their new company called Calibra. Pretty much Facebook is trying to have a subsidiary called Calibra that is actually going to be operating this project or be part of this project. Lyft, Spotify, Uber, and more. In the telecommunications, there is Vodafone and Iliad. There are blockchain companies in here, Anchorage, Bison Trails, Coinbase, XAPO Holdings. There are for venture capital, as you might expect, Andreessen Horowitz are there. And non-profit organizations, Creative Destruction Labs, Women's World Banking, and more. So all of these are going to be running validation nodes. So in the network, in the Libra network, you have two types of clients. On one side you have a regular client, on the other side you have a validator node. This network, as I said, is permissioned, so not everyone can have a validator node. It's only the companies that are mentioned in the white paper that have validator nodes. And the validator nodes are pretty much validating the transactions that are sent by a regular, basic, normal clients. The normal clients are used by the users, by the account, to send or sign transactions to the network. So pretty much this is the architecture of the network. It has a client and it has a validator nodes, and clients are used to sign and send transactions. They're sending the transactions to a validator nodes. In one of the later videos, so we will review the consensus algorithm, who exactly are they sending these transactions to, and how all of this works. So this is the heart of the Libra network. These two clients. In terms of the Libra currency, the Libra currency is going to be stable one, or is deemed to be a stable one that is going to be backed by a reserve of real assets, and these assets are pretty much financial assets. They're going to be loans or like securities, short-term government securities, and all of this is going to be bought from stable and reputable banks. This means that this is now going to be stable coin that is not backed by crypto assets. And by the way, soon I will make a video on cryptocurrencies, stable coins that are and how they differ from one another. So Libra is not backed by cryptocurrency like DAI is backed by Ether, but is also not backed exactly by dollars like Tether is. Instead is going to be backed by financial instruments. And the aim here is to have a stable Libra cryptocurrency where everyone can use. And this Libra currency is also the native currency of the network. This is what you have to pay your gas costs at. And in these terms, in gas limit and gas costs, the Libra network is very similar to what Ethereum is. You pretty much specify how much you're willing to pay per unit of gas in terms of micro Libra. and how much is the limit of what you're willing to pay for this transaction. So it has intrinsic value, and it's based on the financial instruments that are backing the Libra, that are holding the Libra reserve. Last important thing is the Libra Association. This is the third component of the Libra project, and the Libra Association, as I said already, are the companies that run validator nodes. In order to get into the Libra Association, I imagine you have to pay a hefty sum, because the hefty sum is needed in order to do the development stuff, and in order to create a fund for grants, and in order to buy the reserve assets that are giving the intrinsic value of the Libra token. It is based in Geneva, Switzerland, probably because of law. So with these three things, the Libra network, the Libra cryptocurrency, and the Libra Association, pretty much this is what Libra project is about. If we have to go a little bit into the technical key concepts that are there, the Libra network again operates like any other network in terms of it has transactions that mutate a state, and pretty much these transactions states change based on transactions that are signed by one user to another. In a later video we are going to review a little bit more how all of this works. It is all again based on asymmetric cryptography, and it modifies the ledger state. Again, the ledger state is only maintained by the validators. And last but not least, there is already a testnet, for early version of testnet, so that you can play around with Libra. And there is also already a wallet that's called Calibra, where you're going to be able to spend your Libra coins when these hit the market. How these are going to come to life, I'm not sure yet. It hasn't been set explicitly how these are going to come to life. Probably these are going to be pre-minted somewhat similar to what Tether has done. And with this, pretty much this is the technical overview, the high level concepts of Libra. In terms of impact, my opinion is that this project could very easily be make or break for the whole blockchain technology. Due to the sheer size of the companies that are in the Libra Association, this is bound to be a spearhead project for the blockchain in the future. This means that if Libra succeeds, probably the blockchain is going to be successful. If Libra fails, then the blockchain technology will have a massive hurdle to overcome in order to erase the failure of Libra. You can review the project in several ways. On one side, you have companies that are centralized. So the cyberpunking, you might say, hey, this is the exact thing that we want to fight against. On the other hand, you have somehow some kind of decentralization, because you have a lot of companies in the Libra Association. In addition to this, Facebook or Calibra is pretty much going to be very ordinary member of the Libra Association, as far as it can be an ordinary member there. And or if you look at it another way, if you look at it in terms of what this can do for people that are unbanked, well, this probably can be massive, because most of these people don't have access to banks. They have access to cash, and they have access to internet and devices, but they don't have access to banks. So this is something that a lot of stable coins and cryptocurrencies have been fighting. So whether you should be worried, whether you should be excited by this project, only time will tell. If I'm a project like, I don't know, Maker or All Nice Go, there is one more huge player that is now trying to service the same people that I'm trying to service. Whether you'll be worried or you're going to embrace this, I'm not sure. Probably a little bit of both. And pretty much this is my opinion of Libra. I think that only time will tell what will happen there, but this for me is make or break project for the blockchain space. And with this, I say we conclude this overview episode. Look forward to the next episode where I'll dive more into the technical concepts of the Libra protocol, of the Libra network. And without further ado, just keep building, review Libra, and see you in the next episode. Bye.